This is CES MMA.
All right, fight fans, welcome back to Twin River and Undisputed 2, live mixed martial arts presented by Classic Entertainment and Sports, and we are on bout number 3, and we have moved to the welterweight division, and right now you're taking a look at KEMRAN LACHINOV making his pro debut, a 22-year-old fighter out of West Springfield, Mass, training with Team Link, who also happens to be training tonight's main event participant, Abner Yaveris. So we know a lot about Team Link. We know a lot about what they bring to the table. KEMRAN LACHINOV had a 3-0 amateur record, grew up in Russia, actually moved to Massachusetts when he was 4 years old, and was a former soccer player on the homeland, believe it or not. So he got into fighting when he moved to America, and here he is tonight fulfilling that dream and making his debut here at Twin River in Lincoln, Rhode Island. So it should be a real good fight, and of course, he's facing a real dangerous opponent in Eric Spicely, Scott, who you know a little bit about from Providence.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric's a local guy here in Rhode Island, and he works and trains out of Baril Jiu-Jitsu, so pretty solid across the board. You know, he's got great sparring partners. They partner up and they work with Triforce MMA, so should be a good one.
All right, KEMRAN LACHINOV making his way inside the cage, just getting some last-minute instructions. We're about to be introduced to the opponent that Scott Ream just talked about, 26-year-old Eric Spicely from Providence, making his debut on this card as well. This is the second consecutive bout where both opponents have been making their debuts. So we got a lot of new faces here at CES MMA. It's real exciting to see. And we saw a great one last time out in Toby Oden, and we'll see what these two have to offer in the welterweight division at 170 pounds.
You know, everybody has to make their pro debut somewhere. But to Pat Sullivan's credit, he's finding the top guys at the amateurs. Toby Oden was ranked in the top 3 in the Northeast, and this is where they're making their pro debut. These guys are no longer aspiring to go here, there. They want to come to CES, so they're working really hard. Pat's got the word out. If you have a good amateur career, you can make your pro debut here with us at CES.
Absolutely. These amateurs now turned pros are among the best of the best, and you're seeing one of them right now as he makes his way to the cage. Eric Spicely, flanked by Pete Jeffrey, of course, from Triforce MMA. A pretty good-looking corner right there, Scott, huh?
I would have to say so. It's Keith and it's Peter as well. And Triforce has quite a few excellent coaches, of course, and you'll see them all throughout the night. There's more than one guy on the card tonight from Triforce/Baril.
Well, you talk about solid MMA schools in this region. Triforce actually won the CES MMA award for Fight School of the Year.
As well they should.
Martial arts division, absolutely. They brought so many great fighters to the table in 2012. And they're continuing that tradition, at least on paper thus far in 2013. And right now we'll see Eric Spicely. He gets his last-minute instructions, gets ready to step inside the cage. Also teaching classes at Baril's Jiu-Jitsu Academy in North Providence. So he's used to working with other students, getting the best of the best in local sparring and training. And now we take a look at the Fineo Inc. tail of the tape in the welterweight division. Eric Spicely from Baril's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Providence making his professional debut against fellow newcomer KEMRAN LACHINOV. He is from Team Link, fighting out of Springfield, Mass. Let's send it down to Bill Carpenter for the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fineo Inc. bout, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Welterweights. Your referee for this contest is Kevin McDonald. Introducing the blue corner first, his official weight for this bout, 170.5 pounds. Representing Team Link, making his pro debut here this evening from West Springfield, Massachusetts. Here is KEMRAN LACHINOV. Across the cage to my left, fighting out of the red corner, this fighter also weighed in at exactly 170.5 pounds. Representing Tim Burrell's BJJ, also making his pro debut here this evening, fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island, introducing Eric Dreamcatcher Spicely. 3 5-minute rounds in the cage, welterweights.
All right, Eric Spicely about to make his professional debut against fellow newcomer KEMRAN LACHINOV, 22 years old, fighting out of Team Link. You see Spicely in the white and gray, Lachinov in the red trunks, round number 1 of 3 in the welterweight division. Nice jab to start off by Spicely. Lachinov almost catching that rear leg kick.
They slash one of those ones hurt. Both guys are really working their hands very well.
Nice exchanges early on. Just
Great
30
job.
seconds
Lachinov
in,
has really straight punches and good technique. Inside leg kick by Spicely, trying to measure his distance.
A little uppercut action too from Lachinov, showing some real good stand-up game.
Straight right hand by Lachinov. Yeah, 100% correct, sir. Again, that's every time Spicely throws that rear leg, he's being countered with a straight right hand.
That one had a little more impact than the previous.
He actually lowered it. Eric was very smart. There's a straight right hand by Eric. Instead of going above the knee, he went lower than the knee. So he couldn't get countered and he couldn't get it caught.
Now seeing some early adjustments just 1 minute into this bout.
And again, that shows you the level of schools they're training at. These guys making this on the fly. Nice jab. Nice stiff jab. Eric finally using his length.
Yeah, Spicely flipping that left jab 2 or 3 times early in this opening round, and he's landed it flush.
Distance is everything, and the first guy to establish a good rhythm, a good distance. And there's that jab again. You see Lachinov come in, Spicely countered him with a straight jab.
You see that head just snap back as Spicely flips the jab.
Lachinov's throwing bombs, though, bad intentions on these punches, not just measuring.
Spicely tried an overhand right of his own. Just missing. 3.5 to go in round number 1.
Straight right hand and followed up by a short left hook by Lachinov.
And Lachinov's managed to back him up a little bit too, Scott, despite that distance.
Yeah, nice stiff jab again. This is a great fight. Both these guys are working. There's a great distance finder, 1-2-1, and Eric smiling at him. Straight right uppercut by Lachinov.
Another big uppercut from Lachinov.
Starting to pour it on. Eric needs to get off that cage. Spicely needs to get off that cage. And he did. You'll see Spicely look to try to take that down to the ground now. Nice plum, tied plum with the knee. Lachinov did a great job of getting out from underneath the taller man.
That second uppercut really woke Spicely up. I think it caught his attention.
Yeah, I definitely have to say.
Those tend to do the trick.
Yeah.
2.5 to go now, and Spicely trying to drive that knee into the midsection. Lachinov almost catching it.
And this is where you can see Sealy really working good jits in the grappling aspect. When Lachinov goes down underneath for that single leg, he's using his height, he's stepping through, and he's really making it difficult to take down. And again, with a nice double jab.
Yeah, this time Spicely following up the jab with the right, actually throwing some combinations.
But he walked through it, he brought his right foot along with him and really jammed his punch on it, unfortunately. The jab scored. A couple of these have been blocked by Spicely. Lachinov is throwing. Again, there's another short left hand.
Great stand-up in this opening round.
Both fighters doing oh, nice knee to the face by Spicely.
Perfectly placed knee by Eric Spicely right up the chute. Looks like he just lost his balance.
No, he actually did a sweep and he shot in for this the knee bar here. He tried to do the takedown as a knee bar. He got him down, but he's a little bit stretched out to make that knee bar happen. And Lachinov did a great job to reverse it and now go back. But you see Spicely's got his butterfly hooks in. Look for a sweep here. You can see him trying to elevate him. Spicely's trying to lift Lachinov up and get that sweep.
Final minute of round number 1. Most of the action been standing up thus far.
Again, as you see, Lachinov try to step out. See Spicely attack that knee bar. That's a little deeper. Good defense by Lachinov by bringing his leg over figure 4. But you're going to try to, both men now looking for Lachinov for the toe hold. And it looks like Spicely's got an ankle lock going. He might have the heel hook. I can't quite tell. Spicely swimming through it now, trying to hit that heel hook again. But if you look, Lachinov has both his legs underneath Spicely's arm. That's going to prevent him from attacking one single heel. This is more or less a stalemate. Who can hit this? It's the first guy who's going to risk scrambling out of it, and it's Lachinov.
A real chess match on the canvas for about a minute and a half. Now it's
Sealy looks like he's...
Stop time. All right, over neutral. A low blow by Spicely, inadvertently trying to drive that knee.
I think it's still Christmas because I'd like to see that again, please.
And that knee was a little bit lower than anticipated, and Spicely, or rather LACHINOV, will get a chance to shake it off here in the closing seconds of round number 1. It's been an action-packed fight thus far. And
there's one to the elbow.
There it is.
The second one, it looked like it caught most of his arm, but it looked like it's kind of slid underneath the arm.
Yeah,
the arm was across the groin.
I thought it was mostly forearm too, but apparently enough got in there. And it's hard for us from this distance to say what doesn't hurt.
It looked like the knee did kind of, thank God it hit the forearm first, maybe slid off into the groin.
It could have been a lot worse.
LACHINOV just shook it off, took about a minute, and here he goes. Again, Spicely with the jab, and that's the round.
That's round number 1, that occurring right at the closing bell. Great round thus far.
Very entertaining.
A lot of exchanges in the stand-up game, and then it went to the canvas for about a minute and a half. We saw some great leverage by both fighters. A little bit of a stalemate, like you said. They got right back up on their feet. So a good opening for this bout here in the welterweight division. Eric Spicely, KEMRAN, LACHINOV, each making their pro debuts. Tough round to score.
Yeah, very much so. You're wondering who finished where. That's the question. Both fighters look like they battled very well for position against the cage. Depending if again it comes to the judges, if they see that wasn't a takedown attempt by Spicely by diving underneath and trying to hit that knee bar on the way down.
Well,
those phenomenal at that. It's a Joe Lozo.
Those nuances can make the difference in who wins the round and who loses it. And in a 3-round fight, that can obviously swing the tide. So it'll be interesting to see if that does in fact play out over the course of this fight. We're about ready for round number 2. KEMRAN LACHINOV in the red trunks, Eric Spicely in the white and gray. Slight height and reach advantage for Spicely, and he's used that at times in this fight with that left jab.
If he could just keep that distance, I think that would really keep LACHINOV at bay. Inside leg kick by Spicely, that's another distance finder. And the second they get in close, LACHINOV starts throwing better punches, and again, Spicely goes for the takedown.
At this time, that's a full-fledged takedown by Eric Spicely. No debate about that one.
He's got his back, and he's got 2 hooks in right now. He's going to take his time. He's going to work for that neck, soften him up, and see if he can get that rear naked on him. Now again, LACHINOV working out, as you saw in his corner, that's Gabriel Gonzaga, UFC veteran in his corner, so that's who's working with him up at Team Link and working his ground game, so I'm quite sure that LACHINOV's been here before.
It's a real battle between 2 elite schools in this region as well, too, Scott.
True.
Team Link and Baril Jiu-Jitsu.
Short softening up punches by Eric, trying to find a way to dig an arm underneath that neck.
He's getting close, but not quite just yet. LACHINOV keeping that chin rather tucked into his chest.
Absolutely.
And after a while, those blows really soften you up.
They do, and you can see LACHINOV did a great job of getting rid of one of the hooks, and now he's going to look to try to turn inside of him as Eric tries to get that hook back.
Yeah, trying to get that left foot in. He's got the right one in, Scott, but the left one's a little bit elusive.
Now you're going to see LACHINOV try to twist that leg up a little bit higher, maybe put some torque on the knee.
Mouthpiece came out from LACHINOV. Maybe a chance for Spicely to do a little more damage.
Yeah, and you can see referee Kevin McDonald, right in on the action. He will not stop the action to put a mouthpiece in. If there's a lull, he'll make it happen. Fighter safety is paramount, but you do not want to disrupt the flow of the fight on an issue like that. Spicely did a great job of slowly trying to step out and create space. He takes his back, but LACHINOV is going to shrug him off here. Now, if you look, you can see Kevin McDonald has that mouthpiece in his hand.
Yeah.
Again, fighter safety. Eric Spicely's working very hard at trying to get this rear naked in. And LACHINOV's doing a great job. Spicely's locking up a body lock now, which is like a figure 4 across the midsection. Very, very hard to get. Very, very hard to get out of.
LACHINOV just walking the canvas with Spicely on his back and then drops backward and slams him.
Again, the same rules apply. Forward and backwards. We saw the slam earlier, and that's all that did was tighten up the triangle, and here this tightened up the body lock. What LACHINOV wants to do is either try to step over like he's doing and peel that foot off. You can see how he's trying to put a little torque on that ankle, or roll to his right and have both men's weight go just on the weight of Eric Spicely's ankle that's exposed right now.
On the Spicely's credit, he didn't let go when he got taken down and slammed to the canvas. He held on, and it's actually worked to his advantage here with 2 minutes to go in round number 2. It's been all Spicely in this round, and that's huge on the scorecards when you fight a 3-round fight.
Without a doubt. And again, Spicely was able to get the body triangle back. He's still trying desperately to work on that rear naked choke. Short punches. Body locked, he switched to the other side. That's what LACHINOV did, was try to roll, like I said earlier, and put that pressure on that ankle. And Spicely very wisely is keep switching which side the body lock's coming from.
Credit to LACHINOV for not giving up his neck.
Not at all.
Just yet.
This, at no time, in my estimation, has LACHINOV been any trouble of being choked up.
It just essentially boils down to a stalemate where he can't do anything to swing the round in his favor.
It's an incredibly dominant position. You will not see these two fighters get stood up when somebody has your back with a body lock in. It's going to be up to one of the fighters to make something happen.
And Spicely still can't get those hooks in, but
Spicely's
he's trying valiantly.
Right now, he just locked his leg over a la BJ Penn, and LACHINOV working very hard to try to free his arm. Now he's got the arm trapped. You see that? That was a brilliant play. Now you can't defend the choke. You need two hands to go on one.
Can't defend the choke or the short punches.
Well, he has full control right here. That arm is trapped very deep. Spicely, phenomenal job of trapping that arm and working for that rear naked.
He might have it here, Scott. He's got plenty of time, 42 seconds. LACHINOV has to outlast the final minute.
He's going to try to peel the choke off. LACHINOV does have the chin inside the crook of the elbow.
He does just get out of it.
Yep.
The arm is still locked in, though.
Yes, what a phenomenal job by LACHINOV. Oh, that's a headbutt.
And LACHINOV drove his head.
That was a headbutt.
Right,
and I think he got the warning from... I think he got the warning from McDonald. I don't think... If Kevin thought it was intentional, he would have stopped the fight.
At the very least, LACHINOV has freed up that right arm, which was trapped for so long.
You could very easily score this round 10-8 for Eric Sealy.
Very similar to a boxing match where there's no knockdowns, but one fighter is so dominant. I agree.
Exactly correct.
That is the end of round number 2. All Eric Spicely in this one. As
now you can see Kevin McDonald warn him about the headbutt.
Absolutely, and he tells the corner the same thing. Watch out for those headbutts. Great job by Spicely. You saw a lot of that technique. A lot of what you would learn from someone like a Tim Burrell was applied in that round.
Did you see how patient he was, Mike? Very, very easygoing, flowing, never in a panic. Didn't give up the position, worked very slowly, inch by inch to gain the position he needed.
And it can certainly be frustrating, and you're trying to dig those hooks in and you can't do it. Instead, he decides to lock the arm down. Instead, like you said, a BJ Penn move, gets the arm locked down and almost had that choke. I thought he had it for a second with about 40 seconds to go. We're going to take a look at the replay here and see if we can see the headbutt. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that looked pretty blatant to me.
Yeah, that's definitely no accident.
That's beyond dirty. I have to be honest with you, I'd love to have the commission take a look at something like that. There's no place in MMA for that.
You know, and typical protocol is they will issue a warning first. If it's done again, it typically results in a point deduction.
Correct. Unless the referee feels it was intentional. If he feels there's an intentional foul, he can disqualify that fighter immediately.
All right, round number 3 of 3 in this welterweight bout. KEMRAN LACHINOV coming out swinging with those uppercuts. Spicely goes in for the takedown. Both fighters hit the canvas, but not enough on it.
LACHINOV wants to stand him up, but he won't back up. He wants him up, and very well done, very well done.
Kevin McDonald standing both fighters up.
There's not a better referee in the region. I personally don't think there's a better referee out there.
He's done a great job in this fight, too.
Eric Spicely's looking to try to step over and with the throw, and he drops purposely down into half guard. He's had a good night on his back and transitioning. He's very comfortable down there. Again, a la Tim Burrell Jiu-Jitsu. He's a purple belt under Timmy.
Yeah, as strong as he looked standing up and flipping that jab, he's been equally as good, if not better, on the ground.
Well, you said it earlier, Mike. Triforce and Burrell.
Absolutely. You've really seen
You can see Eric working for the sweep right now. And digging again for another leg. He's got that heel hook. He's going inverted to that heel hook. He's going belly down on it.
Now LACHINOV trying a hook of his own here.
That's the counter. Let's see which one lands it first. If
Back
it's possible.
That chess match we saw toward the end of round number 1.
Again, like you said, a stalemate. It's a stalemate position unless you own it. And this is, again, we just witnessed 4 minutes of this. Eric did a great job stepping over, taking his back. LACHINOV, to his credit, very good defense from having someone have his back. He's taking the punches, he's punching back, but more than anything else, if you look at it, he's still stuck there.
Exactly, he can't do anything from this position. no momentum, no ability to score whatsoever in this position for KEMRAN LACHINOV.
That's all he can do is defend from here, Mike.
And if Eric Spicely hangs on here for 3 minutes, it's his fight.
I'd have to agree with you there. But then it goes to the judges, and
you never know.
we've been down that road before.
We absolutely have. .252 to go in the fight.
Now he has his back, hooks in, ground and pound. Looks at, he's not defending himself. He's going to stretch him out one more time. He'll push his hips down and try to drive himself forward. He might, there he goes, he rolls over to take his back again.
LACHINOV temporarily saving himself by just sliding under and avoiding those punches, because you're right, he really wasn't answering. A few more seconds of that, and that could have been all she wrote. But nonetheless, we're back in this stalemate position. And all LACHINOV can do here, Scott, is just throw those right hands and just try to,
you know, it's funny,
fight Spicely off him, but it's not really working.
This is a very, very dominant position for Eric Spicely. That's all he needs to do is take his time and work for anything. But you have LACHINOV here who's doing a great job defending everything. So right now we're in a chess match, and it's who can actually defend better, who can actually get their game across. And then here you go again. You see Eric Spicely, another body lock that's in. LACHINOV's been warned about manipulating the toe, which is illegal. Headbutts, I'm not a big fan right now.
I think the desperation is starting to set in, and he's trying everything he can to swing the momentum, but it's got to be within the rules, obviously, and Kevin McDonald, the best in the business, will point that out. 90 seconds to go in the third and final round. It's been all Eric Spicely in this round and in round number 2.
And here comes LACHINOV finally trying to make a move. He bridged up, tried to put a little pressure on Eric's chin with his head. Eric again, just those short little punches, trying to loosen him up, maintaining back control. He's doing a fantastic job.
No, his ground game's been spectacular, and coming from the school he comes
He
from,
looks, he's
no
got
surprise.
the rear, he had that, he had the rear naked going in for a second, changed his approach on it, and he almost had it. And here you're going to see LACHINOV try to walk the wall with Eric on his back.
Easier said than done. 41 seconds to go. LACHINOV has to do something to at least get this fight back to the stand-up position, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It looks like he's turning over on him now very well. LACHINOV digging in, trying to get some ground and pound in to finish him. Very game opponent.
This is the only chance he
great
has,
sweep from Eric Spicely. He locked down one leg, attacked the other on a sweep, and he's attacking another submission yet again.
Oh, there's the thing, Scott. Spicely knew exactly what LACHINOV had to do when he was able to counter it. LACHINOV had no choice but to try to unload with the lefts and rights. And
I just saw Eric Spicely wince in pain. I'm wondering if LACHINOV had a piece of that heel hook.
Well, nonetheless, it's survival mode. Eric Spicely outlasts KEMRAN LACHINOV in the final seconds of this third round. A dominant performance in the second and third rounds in particular.
I agree.
For Eric Spicely. We'll see how the judges have it, but from my standpoint, easily a 2-1 fight, and depending on how you scored the first round, it could be a clean sweep for Eric Spicely in his pro debut.
Correct.
A game effort by KEMRAN LACHINOV, but Eric Spicely
wouldn't go gentle.
He would not. Just dominant on the ground by Eric Spicely, and LACHINOV did his best to defend everything as best as he possibly could, but in the end could never really turn that momentum in his direction. Always on the defensive. That's ended up what happening with KEMRAN LACHINOV.
Correct.
When you're always on the defensive like that, it becomes next to impossible to win the fight. He had that brief moment at the end of the third round where he got back on his feet. Had he been able to get in there with some lefts and rights and use his stand-up,
I would agree with you.
He could have finished there, but Spicely knew it, and he got that final takedown, and that was all she wrote.
I think the biggest deterrent on the striking was Spicely's jab. He kept him at distance, and it forced LACHINOV to really bull rush his way in. And it wasn't a very technical way to get inside, which allowed Eric Spicely to work his ground game, take him down with some pretty nice sweeps. When he jumped down for a knee bar standing, that's a pretty slick move.
Well, there it is. Eric Spicely and KEMRAN LACHINOV go the distance in this welterweight bout. 3 rounds in the books. Both fighters making their debuts. Somebody will walk away with the win. Somebody goes home with the loss in their first pro fight. And we're about to find out who it is. We're going to send it down to our cage side ring announcer, Bill Carpenter, for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds in the cage, let's go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Judge Avery scores the bout 30-27. Judges Cordero and Lima both have it at 29-28. All 3 judges scoring for your winner by unanimous decision. Eric, the Dreamcatcher Spicely.